Seahawks, Niners win. Falcons, Saints. Gonna go Falcons at home. Both coming off of a bye. Then I'm gonna give the Cardinals, what would this be? Their third win. They're gonna beat the Rams. Bears, Vikings. What are we gonna do here? I'm gonna give it to the Vikings. All right. How many times am I going live? Let me see, because I just got another alert saying that I'm live right now. Yeah, this is going to be a little funky. We'll have to go through because I'm still live here. Nothing ended. But this one ended for whatever reason. Really weird. See, the restream here that we're on, I don't know how well this is going to really work out. As we'll be going live on Twitch and on YouTube. That's really weird. So, like, what it did is it had the lives stop. Really weird. I don't know what is going on. We're just going to keep pushing because I'm live here on YouTube, I see, and I was live on Twitch. It's just cutting the lives up. I don't know why. And I think this is how I go ahead and look at standings here. I'm not going to be able to... Now, let's just go back to here. And we'll just go through. You got the Jags 8-3, Colts 5-6, Titans 5-6, Houston Texans 4-7, Chiefs 8-3, Chargers 6-5, Broncos 5-6, Raiders 4-8, Steelers 7-3-1, Ravens 8-4, Bengals 6-4-1, and Browns 4-7, Bills 8-4, Dolphins 6-5, Jets 6-5, Patriots 6-5. Niners 8-3, Seahawks 7-4, Cardinals 3-9, Rams 2-9, Eagles 7-4, Cowboys 7-4, Giants 6-6, Commanders 4-8, Lions 7-4, Vikings 7-5, Packers 6-5, Bears 4-8. Then down here, Falcons 4-7, Panthers 4-7, Saints 4-7, and Buccaneers 3-8. With that being said, let's continue on here. I'm going to go Patriots at home. That puts the Patriots into the playoffs right now. Titans and Colts. I'm going to give it to the Titans. And Broncos, Texans. I'm going to go Broncos. Bengals and Jags. I'm going to go Bengals. So the Jags come away with a loss. They're 5-0 in their division, though, which is kind of expected because, like I said, that division is very weak. Yeah, it's a very weak division. Dolphins and Commanders. I'm going to go Dolphins. Steelers, Cardinals. Steelers. Jets, Falcons. Jets. Browns, Rams. Browns. Packers, Chiefs. Chiefs. I'm going to go Cowboys here. I'm going to go Panthers here. I'm going to go Saints here against the Lions. And then I'm going to go with the Niners. Moving the Niners to 9-3, which I think is the best record in the NFL at this point. Patriots, Steelers. Patriots win. I don't know what it is. I think the Patriots are going to go on a run. They're going to start off weak, go on a run. Mac Jones is really the question mark, though, so we'll see how much that actually matters. I do have the Browns beating the Jags, move the Jags now in a little bit of a losing streak, which, we'll see how that plays out. Jets beat the Texans here. Bengals and Colts, I got the Bengals winning. Bills and Chiefs, big game here. I think the Bills are 8-4, Chiefs 9-3. Realistically, I think the Bills will win this one. Broncos and Chargers. I have the Chargers winning that. Dolphins and Titans. I'm going to go Dolphins. Now, that's a tough division right there. Every team can make the playoffs. I think that the Patriots probably finished last, so we'll see how it ends up playing out here. Ravens versus Rams. I'm going to give it to the Ravens. And then Raiders, Vikings. Buccaneers, Falcons. Bears and Lions. I'm going to go Lions. And I think the Panthers now, like I said, they're the team that's going to start going on a run late down the stretch. And then here you get the divisional battle. Seahawks win on the road. Eagles and Cowboys. I got the Eagles winning. And then Packers and Giants. I'm going to go with Giants at home. I think it's the fair thing to do. Here we go. Things are going to start getting interesting now as the records, everything's going to start to really matter here. Chargers and Raiders. Chargers would need this win drastically. They don't get it. I'm going to give it to the Raiders. Colts and Steelers here. I'm going to go Steelers. Jets and Dolphins. I said I was going to potentially make things interesting again. I'm going to make them interesting again. Tie. I'm going to go with a tie here. Jets and Dolphins, two teams that are trying to battle. That's a crazy division where it's a slugfest between the two. I think that's what happens. Texans and Titans. I'm going to go Titans. And then we have Jags, Ravens. I'm going Jags. Then I have the Chiefs beat the Patriots. The Bears beat the Browns. I'm going to have the Broncos beat the Lions. So I give the Broncos a 7-7 record. Bengals and Vikings, I'm going to go Bengals. Bills and Cowboys. Cowboys would really need this game, but I'm going to go Bengals. I already did want Bengals. But I'm going to go Bills is what I meant to say. Panthers win again. I don't know what their streak would be at this point, but they win again. And then Packers and Bucks. I'm going to go with the Packers as they need that win to kind of climb back into the playoffs potentially. I'm going to go Giants here. I'm going to go Niners. Then I'm going to go Rams. So the Rams will come away with the victory. They're third as the Commanders drop to 4-10 now. And then I'm going to make things simple and go with the Eagles. So obviously there is definitely never a way to completely and accurately pick every single one of these games. It's just not possible. I'm going to give the Bengals the benefit of the doubt, give them the victory against us here. And then Bills and Chargers. I'm going to go Chargers. Browns and Texans. I'll give the Browns the benefit of the doubt. And then I'm going to give the Broncos the win against the Patriots. I think the Patriots are starting to fizzle out a little bit. And then down here, you have the Chiefs winning against the Raiders. Jets and Commanders. I'm going Jets. Falcons and Colts. I'm going to go Falcons. So the Falcons will try and make that division interesting. We'll see how it really plays out here. Titans and Seahawks. What is the Seahawks record now? 8-6. Titans are 7-7, trying to battle. And I'm going to give them the victory. Bucks and Jags. I'm going to go Jags. Dolphins and Cowboys. Ooh. No, I'm going to go Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins. Ravens and Niners. I'm going to go Ravens. So that would give the Niners just their fifth loss. Okay, we're not done yet. Saints and Rams. I'm going to go Saints. Saints are not going to be as bad as I'm making them seem, I don't think. Packers beat the Panthers. Vikings and Lions. Going to go Lions. Bears and Cardinals. Bears. I feel like I'm giving the Bears a little bit too much. Yeah. Then Eagles. We're in week 17 now. The season's starting to die down. Everything is gonna start to get interesting. Jets and Browns. Jets. Raiders and Colts. I'm gonna go Colts. Dolphins, Ravens. Dolphins need a win to stay in the hunt. They do that. That puts the Ravens out at 10-6. I mean, that just kind of shows you the competitiveness of these divisions. I'm going to go Buffalo here. Titans and Texans. I'm going to go Texans. If the Titans needed it, they're not going to get it. Bengals and Chiefs. Chiefs is who I'm going to give the victory to. They'll move to 12-4. Broncos and Chargers. I'm going to go Chargers. Actually, no, because the Broncos are not going to go 0-5 in that division. I'll give them the victory. Panthers and Jags. I'm going to go Jags. Steelers and Seahawks. What would this mean for the Steelers if they were to lose? It puts them out of the playoffs. And I think it's traditional Steelers, it's Steelers tradition to make Week 18 the most stressful week possible. And so I'm going to give it to the Seahawks to make things a little realistic here. Cowboys and Lions. I'm going to go Cowboys. Cardinals and Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles. Rams and Giants. I'm going to go Rams. Get their 4th win. No, I'm not. I'm going to go Giants. Commanders and Niners. I'm going to go Niners. Bucks and Saints. I'm going to go Saints. Falcons and Bears. I'm going to go Falcons. And then Packers, Vikings. What do I want to do here? Interesting. The Packers could be eliminated, and I think they're not necessarily eliminated, but I'm going to give it to the Vikings. Make it fair here. Week 18. Here we go. This is all divisional games. This is going to determine who makes the playoffs, who doesn't make the playoffs. Maybe we'll make one more interesting decision here. Jets and Patriots. I think that the Jets are battling. They're gonna win this game. They're gonna be 11-5-1. Bills and Dolphins. This is an interesting game. The Dolphins, I think, are in prime position here. I just don't think they get it done. So I am going to go with the Bills. I also think that if the Dolphins win here, I don't think that allows the Steelers, who I do think are going to win on the road against the Ravens. Ooh. But if the Bills win, the Ravens still wouldn't make it. The Dolphins would then win the AFC East. This is interesting. This is getting very, very interesting here. Regardless, it's going to play out a little weird. I am going to go with the Bills winning because that's the difference between the Bills being a 6 seed versus the Bills being the 2. I'm going to go Bills on the road. I think they get it done. They're playing playoff football now. And then I'm going to go Bengals winning against the Browns. The Ravens now are out of the playoffs. The playoffs are pretty much set. And I think this is a possibility. I think the Ravens could definitely miss the playoffs. Unless they... Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. I must have missed a Bengals game. I most definitely did miss a Bengals game. Let's go. We'll have to go back because obviously I missed a game. Yeah, okay, right here I missed a game. Bengals win against the Vikings. I was going to say, the Bengals record is just not matching up. So the Bengals do beat the Browns here. Colts and Texans, really doesn't matter. What would the situation be? I'm going to go Colts still, so they'll go 7-10. Jags and Titans, I don't think the Titans can do anything to make the playoffs, unfortunately for them. And I think the Jags potentially rest their starters. Jags lose. Chiefs and Chargers. If the Chargers were to win, it doesn't change anything. But I think the Chiefs will win because they're going to want to try and... If they lose, they actually don't have home field advantage. So they're going to win this game. Raiders and Broncos. Now, if the Broncos win, I think that could be... No, so it doesn't matter. So the AFC has been established. You have your playoff teams here. And I think this is probably as accurate as you're going to get. And that's my personal opinion. I think it's an accurate representation. Now in the NFC over here, things could get interesting. Panthers and Bucks. I got the Panthers winning. Cowboys and Commanders. I got the Cowboys winning that one. That puts them in the playoffs. Eagles, Giants. The Giants would need to win this game to go to the playoffs. They're not going to. So that makes things very, very interesting. Lions and Vikings. I think almost the same thing is going on here. I am going to go with the Lions because I think they will win the NFC North. Packers and Bears. I'm going to go Packers. Ooh, that would make things very interesting. Because somehow, some way, that would make it so that the Vikings and the Packers both don't make it. But I am going to go Bears. Get their first division win. Saints and Falcons, I'm going to go Saints. Seahawks and Cardinals. But the Seahawks would probably, if they lost this game, would still make the playoffs, but they will win this game. And then Rams, Niners. I'm going to go Niners. All right, so let's go through and let's talk about my predictions for the 2023-2024 NFL season, and then we'll get on to the playoffs. In the AFC West, I have the Chiefs going 13-4 and winning that division with a 5-1 division record. I think that they're the clear-cut top team in that division as we speak. And then there's a good case for the Broncos or Chargers to be the second best, but they're just not good enough to be a playoff team. I got the Broncos going 10-7, but unfortunately struggling in the division, losing 4 of the 6 games. And then I have the Chargers going 3-3 in the division, but losing other games, going 8-9. And I have the Raiders, a team that I think is slowly going to be on the decline, going 5-12 and going 2-4 in a division. So the only team from that division making the playoffs, Kansas City Chiefs. In the AFC East, I have the Buffalo Bills winning that division, rightfully so. They go 12-5, 4-2 in a division. And then I have second and third place being two teams that tied earlier on. I have the Jets going 11-5-1 and going to the playoffs, and I have the Dolphins going 10-6-1 going to the playoffs. Patriots had a rough start, hot middle, and then rough end, going 8-9, missing out on the playoffs. In the AFC North, I have the Bengals winning that division, going 11-5-1, and they tied against the second place team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who went 10-6-1. So both those teams are making the playoffs. And then I have the Ravens, who went 3-3 in division, are missing the playoffs because the AFC was so competitive. Basically, the AFC East made it super competitive. And so the Ravens at 10-7, unfortunately, will miss the playoffs. Now, if the Ravens had beaten the Steelers, the Ravens would be going to the playoffs and the Steelers would be going home. I think the Steelers win the game on the road. That's just how I feel about it. What if they were to tie, you may ask? The Ravens would be going to the playoffs. So I have the Steelers winning that game. Browns go 7-10, which I think is accurate. Jags win the AFC South going 11-6, going 5-1 in that weak division. The Titans go 9-8, miss out on the playoffs. Colts go 7-10, and the Texans go 5-12. So the Texans are no longer the worst team in football, if you ask me. I think that belongs to two teams in the NFC West. Speaking of the NFC West, we have the Niners going 12-5, going 5-1 in the division, losing one to the Seahawks. And I have the Seahawks finishing 10-7, only losing one to the Niners. I mean, I think that's an accurate thing. I think the Niners and Seahawks could split the series, but the Cardinals and Rams are terrible. Cardinals go 3-14, Rams go 3-14, two of the worst teams in the NFL. In the NFC East, I have the Eagles going 12-5, going 5-1 in the division. Kind of a division that kind of knocks each other out just a little bit. Cowboys go 10-7 and sneak into the playoffs. If the Giants would have beaten the Eagles, that'd be pushing somebody out of the playoffs. Who would that be pushing out of the playoffs? The Vikings? Yeah. But I got Eagles winning that one. So I think the Giants will miss out on the playoffs at 9-8. Commanders go 4-13. Lions win the NFC North going 10-7. Vikings go 9-8, make the playoffs. Packers have a pretty solid season. They just missed out on the playoffs barely. Had they beaten the Bears, they would not have went to the playoffs, but they had made it more interesting. And then the Bears go 7-10. I think I gave them a little bit too much benefit of the doubt. And down here in the NFC South, the weakest division by far, we have the Panthers going 8-9, going 5-1 in the division though, and going to the playoffs. Saints go 8-9, miss out on the playoffs. Falcons 7-10, miss out on the playoffs, and the Buccaneers go 3-14 and miss out on the playoffs. I think we can look here at this page, and that will give us what, will give us the AFC teams, which the worst team in the AFC, actually, let's go AFC and NFC combined. That will give us who the best teams in football is. Pretty much some power rankings almost. And so I think that the Niners here are technically the best team in football according to this, and I think that's pretty accurate. And then you have the Chiefs and the Bills, who are probably number 2 and 3. Eagles at 4, Bengals at 5, Lions at 6, Jaguars 7, Panthers at 8. No, because I think the Jets are a little bit up there. And then scrolling down here, I think that this is just very accurate, if you ask me. I think that, we'll go through. At some point, I'm going to be definitely doing going back and looking at this and seeing what it looked like, because I think it'd be interesting, as I think this is a cool thing to look at here. Worst team, probably going to be the Rams, if you have to ask me. Is there a way we can sort this? There is. So, the best record was the Chiefs. Then you have the Niners going 12-5, Bills 12-5, Eagles 12-5, then the Bengals, Jets, Jags, Dolphins, then the Steelers with the 9th best record. Broncos, Cowboys, Vikings, Ravens, Seahawks, Giants, Titans, Vikings. And then here's your teams that went sub 500. Chargers, Packers, Panthers, Patriots, Saints, Bears, Browns, Colts, Falcons, Raiders, Texans, Commanders, Buccaneers, Cardinals, and the Rams. So, who had the best conference record? Wow. The 49ers went 11-1 in their conference. They lost 4 out-of-conference games. Who had the best division record? A couple teams on here that go 5-1 in their division. Who had the best record at home? Because this is going to be very interesting to look at when it comes playoff time. So looking down here at the Steelers, they went 5-4 at home, but 5-2-1 on the road, and they're going to be probably road warriors here. The best road team was the Chiefs, and then second was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Record versus playoff teams. The Bills went 7-2, Jags 4-2, Lions 4-2. Steelers record versus playoff teams was 1-3-1, with the only one coming against, I don't even know. Strength of schedule. This is record versus good teams. That'd be 9-4. Yeah, 9-4 here. 3-4 for the Steelers against good teams. I think this is a pretty cool little app or website here. Makes things very interesting. So I'm going to do one last thing. And I'm going to go based off of record. And I'm going to scroll down this because I think it'd be interesting to look at in the future. So we have the... Actually, let's do it by AFC and then NFC. Can I zoom out a little bit? So that's a look at the AFC. And then let's go ahead and look at the NFC. There's your look at the NFC. All right. So now we can go over here and we can advance. Now here's where things get interesting. Jets and Jaguars. We can go back over here. This is actually a pretty cool tool you can use here. Let's look at what was the Jets record on the road. The Jets were 3-4-1 on the road. Now, what about the Jaguars at home? Were they a good team at home? They went 7-2 at home, so they are a pretty solid team. Jags and Jets, this is going to be very interesting because Aaron Rodgers comes over to New York. I think that I'm going to have to, I don't know, and I'm gonna keep my bias aside here. I do want to do that. I think the Jags are going to be a really good team this year. I think the Jets just have a little bit more, especially bringing in Dalvin Cook. So I think the Jets win on the road. Next game is the Steelers-Bengals. They tied early on, and I think the Bengals won the other game. Bengals will be at home. You know that I can't pick the Cincinnati Bengals to win. You know I can't do that. So, therefore, I am going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers to win on the road. And I think that they have the capability to do so. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it to the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road. And then Bills-Dolphins. I think it's pretty obvious. You got the Buffalo Bills winning that. Over here in the NFC now, we have the Panthers and Cowboys. I think the Panthers, we go look. What was the Cowboys' record on the road this season? Oh, come on. Gotta get some kind of ad blocker here. So the Cowboys were 4-5. The Panthers went 4-4 at home. I think that the Panthers had a pretty good season to even get to the playoffs. I just don't think they win. So I am going to go with the Cowboys. Here we go, Lions and Seahawks. A lot of road teams went in here. I think that ends here, and I think that it goes 3-3. You have 3 teams win on the road, 3 teams win at home. Therefore, I got the Lions winning against the Seahawks, and I got the Eagles winning against the Minnesota Vikings. So that's your wild card round. Now you are in the divisional round. Things are really going to start to get interesting here. And it just feels like it's shaping up to be the same teams every year. I don't think so. I got the Jets winning against the Buffalo Bills. And then this is where I'm conflicted because I don't want to, abandon my team. But they have to play a team that went 13-4 in the regular season. And I don't know. I'm going to have to keep my bias aside. I think the Chiefs win. Had the Steelers been matched up against the Jets or the Bills, had Week 18 been different and the Bills won and the Chiefs lost, and the Steelers would then be playing the Bills, I think the Steelers would be going to the AFC Championship game. And I think they'd be going, I don't want to spoil anything, but I think the Steelers, had they been playing the Bills, would be going to the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs are just a really good team. And that's why it's a hard decision for me. No other way that I can put it. I don't want to have to, but that's just what it is. I think the Steelers bring the fight to them, though. I think the Steelers are going to be a much better team than people are giving them credit for this season. I think them going 10-6-1 or 10-7 or 11-6 is very accurate. I think this is something that they definitely can accomplish. So just stay tuned because I think the Steelers are going to be a tough team. Like I said, had they been playing the Bills in the divisional round, I think they're going to the AFC Championship game. But having to be on the road against the Chiefs, I have to give it to the Chiefs. Over here in the NFC, Lions, their season is going to come to an end. And I'm going to give it to the Philadelphia Eagles. Cowboys and Niners, I genuinely think this could be a blowout. I think the Niners could put up 40, and the Cowboys only score 14 points. So I'm going to go with Niners. And there's not really anything to think about over there in the NFC. Now, going on to the conference championship games, I'm going to be very interesting here. You have a potential Super Bowl rematch with the Eagles and the Chiefs. And I'm going to be honest with you. They're both not getting back. I have Jets versus Niners for the Super Bowl. And this is where it gets in. The Jets are clearly one of the best teams in the NFL if they're not playing in the AFC East. So, you take that what you will. I think the Jets are going to be a really good team. I'm not really an Aaron Rodgers fan. Um, are the Jets just the Jets? Can Saleh help them get across and get them a victory? Maybe. Is Brock Purdy even going to be that good of a quarterback? There's a lot of questions with both of these teams, and there's a good chance that both these teams could not even make it to the Super Bowl or they're even conference championship games. So it makes it very interesting. I think the Jets are a really good team, especially, like I said, bringing in Dalvin Cook. Really good young defense. If Aaron Rodgers performs well, I think the Jets could win the Super Bowl. Niners, though, with the defense that they have and an offense where your quarterback doesn't get hurt, I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I think it'll be Super Bowl 58, I do believe. So there we go. There is no next button. That's it. I do think that the Niners could make a run and win a Super Bowl. There's a really good chance for it. Their quarterback doesn't get hurt last year. If Brock Purdy doesn't get hurt last year, they probably have a chance of beating the Eagles. And that's why I think they get over that hump this year, because Brock Purdy will stay healthy. Everybody stays healthy. They go to the Super Bowl. And finally, they don't have to play a team called the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't have to worry about playing the Chiefs. They play against the Jets, who I think are a really good team that probably have a chance to get back the following year. But I'm going to give it to the San Francisco 49ers. Final score prediction, 23-17. Jets are going down for a game-winning touchdown drive, and Fred Warner picks off Aaron Rodgers. San Francisco 49ers win Super Bowl 58. That's my prediction. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I do want to talk about one other thing, but first I'm going to have to turn off my display capture, and I will see you in just a second. All right. So what you are looking at now is opening day from year 2 of my Cincinnati Reds franchise. It was a game where Hunter Green almost nearly threw a no-hitter. It would have been a combined no-hitter because Alexis Diaz came in the 9th, gave up a hit to Brendan Donovan, I do believe, to end the game. To break up the no-hitter. We did end up winning this game. That's beside the point. You're seeing this because I did want to take the time to talk about the Cincinnati Reds franchise and the state of the franchise. Unfortunately, I guess I should not say unfortunately. I'm going to give you guys some background. I was going to do an update video. I don't really have the time to do that, so I'm going to do a quick session of talking about it here, and then I'll make a separate video based off of this. But here we go. So on July 25th, my wife and I welcomed our first child, a son. And so that maybe had to put the channel on hold a little bit. And I really just don't have time to create videos, edit videos, do audios, and post them. So I had to kind of stop the franchise for a little bit. I could have put it on pause. I wasn't, clear with what my intentions were to the franchise. So I didn't really tell you guys what my plan was. I just kind of stopped uploading it. And I could have just put it on pause and returned to it later. Here we are now almost a month after the fact that I haven't uploaded a game since. I have, on my own, been playing the Reds franchise. So I'm going to be honest with you. The Cincinnati Reds franchise is done on the channel. it was very fun playing it, but it takes a lot of work to record these videos. It takes me over 2 hours to record gameplay, and then it takes me 45 minutes to edit it, then do a voiceover. We're talking about 4 hours from start of recording to publishing. That's not even including the wait times for rendering and uploading. So we're talking probably 5 to 6 hours. I really don't have the time for that, so I had to, stop doing it. Compared to something like Madden, I could do a Madden and record Madden, in an hour and edit in 30 to 40 minutes and upload it. And it does not take as much time, only 17 games per season versus with MLB The Show, you really don't know how long each season is going to be because you don't know how many games you're going to put in each episode. So, it's kind of an uncertainty when you're playing MLB The Show or creating an MLB The Show franchise. So, I did play the rest of year 3 off camera, and I'll kind of give you guys an update on what happened in the franchise. Like I said, it's not going to be coming back to the channel. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be able to happen. But we ended up going on a pretty big cold streak through the month of July, so we had to get aggressive at the deadline. We brought in Matt Manning to fill out our starting rotation, then Ramon Laureano to be the guy who alternates in left field with Jake Fraley, our platoon guy. And we made a run. Unfortunately, Nick Lodolo and Max Fried both got injured, and Lodolo was pitching at a Cy Young level the entire season. They got injured. We did make the playoffs. We won the NL Central. We beat the Cubs in the wild card in 3 games, and then we beat the New York Mets in the NLDS in 5 games, and then we had a 3-1 lead against the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NLCS, and we blew the 3-1 lead. I know, very frustrating. And so, unfortunately, we did lose out on an opportunity to go to the World Series against the Toronto Blue Jays. And, it is what it is. In that offseason, I did do the offseason, and I brought in guys like Cedric Mullins, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Mitch Haniger. So the team got very, very good in the offseason. We're now like the second-rated team in my franchise. And so, we're going to be trying to go for a World Series. I can try and keep you guys updated when I do play it. But like I said, it's not going to be coming back to the channel. It's just something that I'm going to do on the side for fun. The reason I was playing it is because, if any of you guys know anything about Raising Child, there are some periods of downtime, but not enough downtime to the point where you could go and record an episode. But there's enough downtime to play a game. And so I would just play a game here and there, and I ended up finishing year 3. And so that's it for the Cincinnati Reds franchise. I do want to apologize for not being clear of my intentions. Moving forward, though, if I do decide to have a series on YouTube, the plan moving forward with those series is that I'm going to start it, and I'm going to have a clear and concise ending point for that franchise whenever I see fit. But or series, I should say. There won't be multiple series going on at once. There will only be one series going on at once. So hypothetically speaking, I start a college football dynasty when that game comes out, and then I also want to do Madden. It's just not going to happen. Madden can be something that I play on my own time, off camera for fun, but it's not something that I'm going to try and do 2 series at once. I don't have the time for it. So moving forward, if I do decide to do a series, it will just be one series, and it'll be uploaded. I don't want to say sparingly, but it's going to be uploaded whenever I'm able to upload. I'm not trying to follow an upload schedule. It could be once every 2 weeks. It could be twice per week. I don't know, but that is the plan moving forward. One last time, I'm going to apologize for ending the Cincinnati Reds franchise kind of abruptly and not giving you guys any reasoning for it. But that's just what happened. It was my best series on YouTube, and I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And maybe in the future we can do another MLB The Show franchise. Last thing I want to say before I end off this live stream is that on August 30th, there is going to be a huge announcement coming to the channel. I'm not going to spoil it yet. I want to make it more entertaining, but I'm going to say that I think you guys will be happy with the decision, and I hope that this iteration of it turns out to be better than the first one, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So that's where I'm going to end you guys off here. I'm going to pause this video. I just put it on in the background and click the YouTube channel, and I'm going to end off this live stream, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are acceptant of my NFL predictions. Like I said, Niners beating the Jets in Super Bowl 58. What did I say? 23-17 final score. So that's going to do it for this live stream. I hope you guys have Had a good time here, and I will see you guys in the next video that's going to be coming out on August 30th.